This is In Touch with Terri, a power-packed podcast for the medical aesthetics industry.
I just discovered your podcast, and I feel like I've hit a gold mine.
This is someone who's got a lot of knowledge. She's been there, done that.
Terri Ross is a former Fortune 500 executive, international speaker, founder and co-CEO of Apex Platform, and Terri Ross Consulting.
Just listening to her energy and her passion and just how hardcore she is.
Her knowledge of the industry and just her connections in general are phenomenal.
In Touch with Terri will bring you solutions to increase operational and employee efficiency and practice profitability. Plus, features some of the top industry experts as guests.
The Apex team literally changed the game for us.
Terri, your courses and your podcast are just so helpful.
She made me feel like I could do this.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Now, here's Terri.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of In Touch with Terri. It is so good to be back. I feel like I was gone for a hot minute, but I first off want to say I hope you all and your families had an amazing Thanksgiving. I am number one, so beyond grateful for each and every one of you every day that is in my life, whether you're a client, a friend, a colleague, an Apex member of our tribe. Your devotion, your support, your unconditional love and respect for what we do is, again, I'm so in admiration of each of you, and I wanted to start off by saying that. And for all of you that sent me the amazing birthday wishes, not going to share my age, but I had a birthday Wednesday and it was Thanksgiving, so it was a pretty amazing week. And which leads me to the purpose of today's podcast. There really are no words. I don't think that there's a day that goes by that I don't receive a message from someone, whether it's my Facebook or my Instagram or my DM or my text or my email, some way, shape, or form, a beautiful, positive message and how the content has touched you or moved you or helped you or caused you to do something and make a change. And that's really all that my goals and my values are about. And so the purpose of today's podcast, as we wrap up Q4, we're going into the holidays, I always like to take an opportunity to sort of recap the year with lessons I've learned, me personally, that I hope resonates and moves you in some way. And in addition to that, a little bit of the lessons that are tied to what this industry is about in the aesthetic space. And the more I'm in it, the more that I'm around you, the more that I speak, the more that I've traveled to other countries. I went to Istanbul this year. I'm really grateful for the learnings that I gather every day, and I'm able to share those with you. So if we look back at 2021, my God, we launched Apex Platform, and we talked a lot about taking risks and having faith. I think you guys know, and if you don't, I even literally got a tattoo that says faith on my left wrist because I needed to believe more than anyone or anything that my intentions for shifting Terri Ross Consulting into Apex Platform was for the sole purpose of being able to reach and help more people. And I still believe that with all that I have. Our team was, 3 or 4 people, and now we're about 30 some people. So I just want you all to know that in order for you to believe in me, I need to believe in all of you. And that is how we support and help one another. So I really want to share this with you that, you can have anything that you want if you're willing to work for it. Most of you all know also I'm a single mom. I've taken Sloan to many of my conferences. She really is the reason, my purpose for doing anything aside from you guys. And I'm sharing that with you because it's going to go into my first lesson. But when we think about what is important to any of us, time, time is something we can't get back. People ask me sometimes in business, Terri, what do we sell? Like, do I sell the Botox or the breast dog or the cool sculpting? And it's not. You don't sell those things. You sell time. You sell an outcome, and you sell a result, and you sell something to give someone to make them feel a certain way, right? It's that emotional response. But when we think about our lives, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're an employee working for someone, you're a parent, you're a business owner, time is everyone's complaint or limitations. But I really want you to ask yourself, what are the priorities that you put in your life? Because time is just about a priority, and we have to allocate time as it relates to something that we want bad enough. So, what is my first lesson I'd like to share? When we think about what it means to be an entrepreneur and being a present parent, it's not easy. It's really hard, but I think it's a big myth. And I know that I have had so much guilt because I travel every 2 weeks speaking. I've talked to other women, bosses, and female entrepreneurs, and we share that same level of guilt. And whether you're a man or a woman, being in business, whether again you own it or you're working your tail feathers off, we still have to be a present parent, and you're able to do that. And why does that matter? Because we show up. We show up for them. We teach them. We guide them. And we are giving them the opportunity to see what hard work and success can look like. And that while we're achieving our dreams, and whatever that looks like for you, we're helping them kind of guide and build their own dreams for themselves and showing them that with hard work and dedication and commitment and relentlessness, that it's possible. So I do want us to take a minute to reevaluate the roles that we play in our children's lives, replacing the guilt that we might have because we're not able to be there as much as we want, or at their games or at their homework, but that we replace the guilt with confidence and knowing. We have to know and have faith that we are raising strong-minded children that hopefully will grow up and have that entrepreneurial spirit that you have. But more importantly, again, give them the foundation of what hard work looks like and what success looks like. My lesson number 2, and it's really hit home this year with something I did earlier. I did a webinar on quiet quitting, but more importantly, I did a podcast on culture and leadership. And I will say that being a single mom, I have to build culture and leadership within my home, and running a company and managing now an extraordinary team of people. What does it require? It's not just about skill set, but it's about respect. It's about pouring into your team wholeheartedly, like giving them the foundation, giving them the trust and the open door policy and the faith and the respect that you want them to make their own choices, and that you're there to show them and guide them and teach them. So you have to pour into your team. And when you do this, I promise you, they will pour into you back. They really will. And so you're helping them build their dreams while they are helping you build a culture of possibility, because there is no I in team. I could not run this organization, obviously, without my team and Isaac and Mitch and Kurt and Randy and my consultants and my support team, Vanessa. I could go on and on and on. So if I didn't call your name, I love you and I'm thinking about you. But everybody in this organization matters. And so I want you to take a minute and to identify what is your company culture and leadership, because people don't leave because of money and time off, but they do leave because they feel undervalued or underestimated or not supported or not important in their role. And so we have an opportunity to decide before we go into next year. I want you to go into 2023 running, maybe not sprinting, right? But we're certainly not like walking. Okay. I want you to go in with a plan. Number 3, when we're thinking about what we do for a living and how we help people, the aesthetic space is big, it's vast, it's competitive. There's about 20% of businesses opening up every year, despite people feeling like we might go into a recession. So we know we dealt with that with COVID, and that was a different level of traumatic things that we all had to go through, with doors shutting for 4 months. And now it's looking at it like, God, are people going to have money to be paying for these things? I've really had to hone down on, what do we do? What did Terri Ross Consulting do? What does Apex Platform do? And we solve 7 to 10 things, and they're the same 7 to 10 things, whether you are a startup, a plastic surgeon, an ocular, a med spa, a business owner, an NP, a PA, anybody that's in the space, we fundamentally solve problems. So if we know that 90% of the aesthetic space doesn't measure data, and we know that it lacks training, and it does, you guys, it does. These conferences are great. I think I did 24 of them this year. And I love it. And I'm honored and I'm humbled and I teach what I love. But it came down from me getting my hands dirty, like rolled up dirty, working in corporate, like leading sales teams and owning a med spa in Beverly Hills. And I'd figuring it out. And the aesthetic space is so sentimental to me, because we're helping people look and feel better about themselves, but we're also trying to have a sustainable and viable and successful and profitable business. And the way to do that is by having a niche. Okay. I always say often there's riches in the niches. You don't have to be everything to everyone. But what a solid niche does is it reduces the noise. Okay. It helps ensure that you have an avatar client, that you understand their demographic, their psychographic, their social graphic. What do they want? Because if you can reach a specific customer, remember, you're talking to one. Not many, you're talking to one that will reach many, but you want the message and you want these people to buy from you, okay, instead of your competition. So your niche allows people to identify with your market and your brand and allows them to say, you know what, I want to go there. I want to pick him or her or that technique or that surgery because I believe, because of what I read or see, is the right niche for me. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4. Wow, I really love this one because when we talk about having a niche and what Apex platform can do, and while I say 7 things, we're still solving fundamental problems that have exponentially impacted practices multi-millions of dollars. And the reason I talked about time is because I wish I had the fairy dust to sprinkle on your business and make it better. I don't. I wish I did. It's freaking hard work and it's a commitment. But like I said, anything that is worth it, it takes time. It takes a commitment. It takes practice. I use the analogy of athletes all the time. They practice every damn day, 8 hours a day. That's how they're that good. Okay, so if you want something different, you have to do something different. And so number 4 leads me into the reason in Terri Ross Consulting, we developed a bunch of medical aesthetic practices. Robbie Grayson's our senior consultant. I think she's done over 100. And her and another consultant, Donna, run our 6-month startup medical aesthetic practice program. And we did this. Why? Because if we do the work for you, people don't really learn the way that they should. And what I have found in doing this for many years now, sadly, is that being at these conferences, listening to people that have a desire, a dream, a passion, a goal, a want, a need, whatever the reason is that you want to get into the space. And I want you to get into the space. I want you to leave the hospital. I want you to expand your business. I want you to leave a practice and go out on your own because you deserve that. But what I find often is that people don't know where to start. They underestimate the amount of money it's going to cost. They don't know if they want to rent or get a brick and mortar. They go buy equipment and it's perhaps the wrong stuff, or they bought things that don't necessarily produce the highest return on investment from a gross profit perspective. They don't have a business plan. They can't go to the bank. They can't get the money. They pick a wrong location that's too competitive. I could go on and on and on with what is in our incubator program, but we called it that because it is a 6-month program where you are being taught every Monday by 2 experts in the space. We are in our 4th, I think our 4th program now. And don't take it from me. Like I said, look at our testimonials. All we care and want for you is that you can build your dream and be happy that your investment, you guys, there's a very big difference with an expense and an investment. An expense is an expense. You make no money from it. Our program will save you time and money, and it's a write-off, by the way. But I wanted to talk about that because when we talked about number 3, which was having a niche, we talked about number 4. I think it's really important that we continue, that I, as the co-CEO of Apex Platform, and work with my team and Isaac, and that we continue to evolve ourselves to meet the demands that you guys have. And that's finding a solution to a necessary problem in the market today. And that is giving people the expertise, the tools, the training, the resources to be set up for success. So when the doors open, right, you are open with a plan, right, where clients are ready to come in, run through that door, and be treated by you. Okay, number 5. I love this one, and I don't think that we all even gave it enough credence. until our clients would say, Terri, you really got to play up this group coaching and you have to play up the community aspect of Apex. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? I knew it was important for me, but to see hundreds of people show up on your calls, there is nothing like it. You talk about bringing tears to my eyes, to my team that runs it. So the value of group coaching and having a community, why is that important? I'm sure we all have friends. We have friends for a season or reason, but being surrounded by a tribe that you can be honest and authentic with and vulnerable and transparent, it helps people come together and not just learn from us and our expertise, but you learn from a community of people that sit in your same shoes and they share your same values or goals or questions or challenges and frustrations. And, we sometimes get afraid to ask, but again, right? The people that don't ask questions are like, we're all sharing the same thing. So having a community helps people to define goals. So having a community of people coming together really helps us to define the vision and the mission and to talk about, again, these common frustrations, but more importantly, to get a resolution and high five your neighbor, again, come up with these objectives and these goals and these plans that we can achieve together so that when we get on that next coaching call and that community call, we're like, oh my God, hey, Susie, how did that work out for you? How did that go? I'm so excited to hear it. And we're just constantly lifting each other up. I think the more we can embrace and love one another in such a competitive environment of growth, the stronger that we're going to be. My number 6, and you guys know I love 7s. I teach in 7s. So my number 6 is that I really want to stay solutions focused. I've had a lot of learnings myself this year, you guys, going from Terri Ross Consulting and helping people really on more of a one-on-one basis and doing a lot of the work, with them, alongside of them. And it's been hard. Like, I love y'all so much. There is no greater joy I get literally in my life, other than my daughter, than listening to people's challenges or scarcities or questions or things they're unsure of. And the ones that are willing to raise their hand and be like, holy shit, like, I just want to work with you. I want to work with your team. I need help. And see it as an investment, because I have had to be solutions focused. I mean, now going to a SaaS model in Apex platform, it's a different level of learning for me too. And I am truly surrounded by a team of experts to help me uncover things that I'm not aware of, but to more importantly, ensure that we're being solution focused on the things that you guys need. And so we spend sometimes so much time focusing on the problems, and we often just forget that problems or challenges, they're really just, you guys, a door of opportunity. And it's a simple mindset shift that can really help you focus on the solution versus the thing that's wrong. It's putting the energy toward the positivity and the outcome that can happen. When we think about, again, this aesthetic space, I know a lot of people talk about mindset shift and growth, but it's easy to wake up every day in the would've, could've, should've. But what about the things like, what if I just did this one thing today? I'm able to make this change because of this. If I change my attitude, or if I answer the phone this way, it's going to yield me this outcome. I mean, if we just use our choice of words in a more solution-focused, positive way, it's going to change the whole trajectory of your day. And trust me, I work on this with myself every day. So I challenge you to acknowledge whatever you are facing, experience a shift in your mindset of how you can solve it and different words that you can use, and take action. It's so simple to complain. I get it. I mean, I do it. I'm not at fault of any of these things, but I check myself, right? I check my shit at the door. I really do. And kind of say, okay, what can I do to turn this around? And my number 7, my lucky number 7 is, like I said, it takes a village. You get help where you need it. You raise your hand if you're stuck. Stay in your zone of genius. Hire people or companies or a coach to help you in the areas that you struggle. I mean, we do it, you guys, in every other way. Like I said, we do it with our sports. We do it to learn tennis. We do it with our kids to get a tutor and get better in math. I mean, we are willing to invest. And you see, I'm not saying expense, We're willing to invest in things sometimes that don't even yield a result. But when we think about our team is the greatest asset that we could possibly have. But as I said with my number 2, you got to pour into your team. I mean, you have to set a good example. You have to lead by example. There are things that are non-negotiable. But look at your team, surround yourself with good, positive people, surround yourself that understand and believe in your mission and your vision, because without them, you're never going to get there. So I just really want to wrap up this podcast thanking you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have supported me personally in, all the love that you show my daughter, all the love and faith and support that you give my team, for making an investment in Apex. We know, God, it was our first full year, and it's been learnings for us too. But if you think about what we solve, right, we are giving the industry training. We're giving the industry the data. We're giving the industry dashboards and KPIs and the resources and the coaching. Is everything perfect? No, but what is perfect? Nothing's perfect, okay? It pushes us every day to look back and say, how do we improve and how do we solve and how do we help more people? And we have. And so your love and support and unconditional feedback, your encouragement, your words of wisdom, your involvement, your belief in me, just I want you to know that I equally have it in you. And I appreciate you trusting in us to work with you to help you achieve your dreams. I truly have made the best friendships and family and tribe across the country, and I look forward to the opportunity to continue to do that. So I just want to wrap it up to say I hope that you took a lot from these lessons from me personally, and then as it relates to work, these 7 lessons from 2022. I would love to hear from you guys as always. Give me your top 2 lessons that you've learned and what you're going to do to move into 2023 so that we are holding hands together, you guys, skipping, jogging, practically getting to the run mode, okay? Because we only have, a little over a month, and we got this. So thank y'all so much. Again, if you found this podcast helpful, it resonated with you, I invite you to please share it with your friends, your family. Leave me a comment, leave me a DM, leave me a like. Love y'all so much, and I'll see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terri. Ciao, guys.
Thanks for listening to In Touch with Terri. We invite you to schedule a discovery call with our Apex team. The link to apexplatform.com can be found in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of In Touch with Terri.